Hey everybody, Kopika here. Welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts.Re Chain of Memories. In the last episode, we managed to defeat Buff Mega Jafar, and also got an introduction to Ansem and his crazy, ridiculous dark magic tricks. And now in this episode, we're actually going to continue on with Riku and see what the game actually has in store for us. This area is empty, for now anyways, but we're going to go upstairs and have more cutscenes and more plot.
I have identified the scent. It is Riku.
Riku, you say? Has he emerged from the realm of darkness?
His existence, it was once doubled in the darkness.
Fascinating. That's why you mistook him for the superior. The dark power given to Riku facilitated his escape from its realm.
What I want to know is why he appeared here in Castle Oblivion.
That's really quite simple. His existence resonates with that of another hero.
Sora is in the castle?
He arrived earlier. Marluxia is already using Naminé's unique powers to meddle with Sora's heart.
Without even bothering to consult us.
It seems he desperately wants the Keyblade Master for himself. What a foolish plan indeed. Sora's is not such an interesting existence. The entity that holds true value is Riku, the hero of darkness.
Man, it's a good thing at this point I'm already playing Shadowbringer, alright? Wow. Already to a point that it's like, wow, the hero of light, which is Sora, and the hero of darkness, which is Riku. But anyways, it's time for us to head to Traverse Town. It's the next world that we're going to go to. As I stated before, every single world is randomized depending on, well, you only have like a set card, so you can't really do much. Guard Armor is not that bad. He can be a little bit difficult as long as, you know, you don't spam slights like a crazy cow, and you'll be alright. But anyways, welcome to Traverse Town. We're not going to be here for quite that long because at this point, this is when I start to cut out my unnecessary traveling. So, if we hit this soldier, we end up getting the guard armor. I don't really get how that ended up look, it doesn't make any sense. But anyways, guard armor does the same exact moves as he does with Sora's encounter, except the only difference is you're playing as Riku and you have dark mode. Other than that, that is about it. The gimmick card is still the same, and what you want to do is to be sure to essentially try to get into dark mode before you ever use any of the gimmick cards, because the thing is, Riku's base form is weak. Now, you can duel with guard armor, but I'm going to say this now, Riku's hand is kind of lame. Like, sometimes dueling the enemies is a good idea, and sometimes dueling the enemies is a bad idea. This is one of those bad ideas. Sometimes you can tell that what is a good way of dueling the enemies. Also, before I forget, that is the situation where if you're about to go into dark mode and if they immediately break you out of it, you will not go into dark mode. I hate that. I don't know why you have a stupid poo-poo animation for that. It doesn't make any sense, and it's by far the worst thing that it can ever actually afford. But once you're in dark mode, use your gimmick cards. Be careful though, because as I stated before in the last episode, at least I hope I stated it before, if you get hit while in dark mode, you will lose your dark mode and you will end up basically going back to base Riku. You never want to be base Riku at all in any of the boss fights that you're going to be doing in this game. Mainly because if you are base Riku sucks, his attack strength is pitiful, and it's not really all that good in my honest opinion. Now, I don't know if the card number is based. Okay, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, I just saw him use an 8. It felt, I think, depending on the card number that they use, is the amount of damage your D points will take. Don't quote me on that. I don't really know. All I know is that I had 5. He used 8. I had 0 after he hit me with that. That could be the case. I don't really know. But all I know is that you just don't want to be in base Riku form. There is one fight, however, where you are in infinite dark mode, and I kind of wish that kind of happened with a lot of the fights in this game, but that will be asking for too much now, would it? But anyways, I end up using Attack Bracer here because now there's just him and him alone. I'm going to go ahead and utilize the damage output to be able to go ahead and beat up Dark Armor. Dark Armor, Guard Armor, whatever. I'm actually shocked there wasn't a dark side within Dark Armor. That would have been so cool. You imagine that, though? Not really. It probably would have been boring. But anyways, that is the end of Guard Armor. And we have leveled up here and there, but the leveling up system is not really that interesting. All the slice that you see, Dark Break, Dark Faraga, Dark Aura, you already have them from jump. There's nothing new, and it's really not something to write home about. Anyways, with the Dark Guard Armor, I don't know why I keep calling him Dark Armor. With the Guard Armor, we now have the capabilities of basically kicking crap. Now, I will only showcase when we're going back, mainly because it sometimes doesn't take me that long to get back to the Conqueror's Respite. Sometimes I will end up cutting it out depending on how long it takes me to go ahead and get from point A to point B. I'm trying to make sure that these parts are not 10 minutes, because in all fairness, if they're 10 minutes, that's bad in terms for me, because we're not in that dang age where all your YouTube videos are 10 minutes. I don't even know what the only time a YouTube video is ever 10 minutes is only if you're doing like either a short review or a showcase or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know any let's play or commentary thing that's 10 minutes of limit. That's weird, and it's unappealing, and it kind of really makes you wonder how we managed to get through that. Seriously, how did we manage to do that? When you really think about it, how did we manage to go ahead and fill in 10 minutes of commentary, especially if you're doing a friggin' long game? Bonus points if you're doing an RPG that goes on for hours on end and you have like 115 parts. Looks at half of the people that I used to watch back in the day where half of those parts are kind of like that, and then you kind of like, oh, that's kind of disgusting. I mean, mind you still kind of have like long parts, even if your parts are like 25 to 35 minutes anyways, because the games I'm playing are just long as balls. But anyway, it's time for a boss fight.
I take it you're Riku.
Are you with Ansem?
You are half correct. Let us say that he is not the Ansem with which you are familiar. He is Ansem, and he is not Ansem. Perhaps a nobody best conveys the idea.
Riddles were never my thing. Try again.
He belongs to neither the light nor the dark, but walks the twilight between.
Oh.
Catching on now? Oh, yes. You also stand in between the light and the darkness. It appears we have much in common.
Maybe. Like you said, there really is darkness left inside of me. But so what? Darkness is my enemy. And so are you for reeking of that awful smell.
Oh, so it's a fight you want. Very good. I shall take you on.
Now, I'm actually going to skip ahead and actually just say that I lose this fight, mainly because look, I'm going to showcase as to why Vexen is the worst organization fight in the entire game, next to Larxene, if you don't know what you're doing. Now, the thing is, this is how most of Riku's fights in terms of the castle can go about. At one end, you probably be thinking like, oh, I'm going to be doing fine. I'm going to be just going in my dark mode, then trying to just whack him in the face and then go about my business. But then it's like, you do the same thing and the results are different. And it's like, all right, I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense. And it really pisses me off every time that happens. Like, you have no idea. But anyways, Vexen fights the same way as he did with Sora, and yeah, like, he fights the exact same way he has that shield that can protect his frontal side, and you have to go ahead and attack his backside to actually do any sort of particular damage. Now, the problem as to why you never want Riku to be in his base form is because A, his dodge is terrible, B, he has no source of healing, and C, his slights are non-existent in his base form. So you kind of have to think as to what you want to do in terms of battle. And look at that. Just 2 hits, and considering the fact that bosses hit you for more than just one time and they hit you multiple times compared to us, where our slights are the only thing that hits like multiple times and that's it. Our base attacks only hit once, which is terrible, but hey, what are you gonna do? Now, you think that I'm gonna be winning this fight, but I'm just gonna say this now, no, we're not gonna win this fight, and it's bad and it's sad and it makes me cry because I actually thought we were going to win. But what happens is we get hit twice by this because I actually have no idea what I was trying to do. I was basically being discombobulated, and then I end up getting frozen and I die. And that's it. And that's why Vexen still sucks. I mean, I probably still could have beaten him, but to be honest, like I said, when you're in the midst of actually trying to fight these guys, it's not as easy to be able to think on the fly as quickly as possible. But sometimes you're going to have to do that. But then, you know, I have like a one-track mind when it comes to these fights. I just do whatever it seems right and then try to, you know, beat them. So, we do the fight again. And this time we start out with a duel, which is not bad because having a duel with the organization fights is a little bit better than having no duel at all. So that took off like a chunk of his health. So then we duel him again because this time he's actually just trying to duel me instead of just being a pain. So this basically could take like a few chunks of his health. Not a lot, not a huge block. But as of right now, you notice that I have like a bit of a rotation going on for him. He seems to be stuck in just trying to use 8. But then he kind of switches out because then he doesn't use 8 anymore and then he uses 9. I'm like, oh, well. Alright, so now you're being smart. The reason as to why he killed me is mainly because obviously he did utilize his elemental blizzard boost card, which sucks because that card, his ice attacks really do hurt. He uses 1, and then I try to go ahead and get into dark mode at this point because, no offense, I kind of need to get into dark mode so I can go ahead and start dealing more damage. So after a while, you know, once he starts utilizing all of his nonsense, we still keep breaking him and still keep getting into duels, which is really good. You kind of more so want to try to get into duels when you're in dark mode because you do more damage when you're in both duel mode and in dark mode. So at this point, I utilize Dark Breaker, try to not get hit again because if I would have gotten out of dark mode, I probably would have lost the fight. So at this point, we're pretty much in the clear for winning in this fight, which is good. And then, you know, I try to go ahead and get all the 9s, and then I do this. And this is Dark Aura. Ah, lovely. And then I kill him after that, because I was like, yeah, go away, you annoying little prick. Anyway, and that's the end of Vexen. For now. I mean, that's the end of Vexen, period, because Riku actually doesn't fight. Riku only has multiple boss fights against Riku and Ansem. But anyways, more cutscenes. Enjoy.
I find coursing through you there is a darkness of formidable power growing, well worth the trouble of aggravating you. All this excitement has provided me with invaluable data.
What?
Many thanks, Riku.
It was a trick all along.
Yeah, that's what I call it. A trick. He definitely tricked you. But anyways, yeah, Riku only has multiple fights against Ansem and Riku Replica, but that's obvious considering the fact where else did Riku Replica even come from. But yeah, that is the end of this episode of Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories Reverse Rebirth. In the next episode, we're actually going to be tackling... I actually don't really know, to be perfectly honest. I kind of just pick whatever world. But anyways, I've been Ko Pika, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next electrifying episode. See yas!